the importance of everyone. Not just on the basis of what they've done or what they haven't done. Not just on the basis of who they are and what people think about them. But we recognize everyone on the basis of Krishna loves them. That was the beauty of Srila Prabhupada. When Srila Prabhupada came to the Western world from Vrindavan to the Bowery of New York and the Lower East Side, there were no Mahatmas. Nobody had tilak. Nobody had Kantimala. Nobody had japa malas. No one was doing japa walks in Central Park. The people that were coming to him, most everyone, was addicted to eating meat, having illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and had no clear conception of God. So much speculation. What attracted them to the path of bhakti? Essentially was Prabhupada's love. Prabhupada just loved everyone. And how is that possible? Because he was a very pure lover of Krishna. He was a devotee of the highest order. Krishna's love was coming through Srila Prabhupada. And he made everyone feel so relevant. He gave everyone such a feeling of importance. There were people who were, because of their feeling of total uselessness, frustration, or confusion, taking drugs, marijuana, LSD, hard drugs, drinking. Some of them were suicidal. But suddenly their life became beautiful because they understood Krishna loves me. And Prabhupada is giving me Krishna's love. Dina hina yata chilo, hari namu tarilo, tara sakshi jagai madhai. Narottam Thakur, he prays, and Prabhupada quoted often. But this is the testimony of the greatness of the holy name. Even Jagai and Madhai became pure saints by the grace of the holy name. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Ras Vigraha. The name of Krishna is none different than Krishna. Krishna's love is manifested through the hearts of his pure devotees, and especially through the name of the Lord. None different than himself. Now it's easy for someone to sit on a Vyasa-san, or whatever this is called, the speaker seat. It's easy for someone to, sit and talk to crowds about how we have relevance because Krishna loves us. But when you're in such a state, as Srimati Amrikala Devi was in, and speaking this with such joy, such realization, and finding such deep shelter, just knowing that really, whatever happens in this world, whatever happens to these bodies, Krishna loves us. That's one thing that will never change. Old age, deterioration, and death is certain. Prabhupada quoted the saying, sure is death. And when Prabhupada was in that last stage of his leelas in this world, He said, do not think this will not happen to you. But most of us were in our 20s. So theoretically, we believe whatever Prabhupada said. But it's hard to understand, really, with the heart. And I was with His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj that last 8 weeks of his wonderful pastimes in this world. He said something to me that I'll never forget. I've heard it before, but when you hear it from somebody in that condition, it really makes sense. He said, I've been talking about how everyone has to die for 40 years. He said, we all talk about old age. Every lecture, practically, we talk about disease and the inevitability of death. He said, but it's impossible to actually understand what it means theoretically. You only know what it means. You can only really understand it when you're actually going through it. It's very serious. Here we have a hospital in Bombay and we see what happens when people are dying. The amount of fear, the amount of anxiety, the amount of frustration, the amount of hopelessness that's so often there. But for one who has been blessed by the mercy of a saint like Srila Prabhupada, for one who's actually connected to bhakti, can go through it with such grace.